It's just so disrespectful. The way that these wealthy are out here living these grand lives, not contributing, and not even, what kills me is it's like, we don't even need you to spend, we don't even need to come for you like that. You just have to pay what you owe, your fair share, and you don't even have to spend that much. And to a billionaire, part of the people who are part of the 1%, multimillionaires, that money that they're paying means nothing. It means it's nothing to them. I always think about, y'all remember that show Will and Grace? And Karen, what a perfect name for that character. Karen, the rich lady. And, I always remember the scene. There's one scene where she comes from partying all night long, and it's the morning, and they're like, "Oh, Karen, you're up early." And she's like, "Or did I go to sleep?" And she's all hungover, and she's digging through her bag, and she pulls out a $20 bill, and she's like, "Ugh, how did that get in there?" And she crumples it up and throws it away. Because she's so rich that a $20 bill is finding a dirty penny. You know what I mean? Ugh, get out of here. And it's just, that's what it makes me think of when I think about wealthy people. It's money that is nothing to them, expendable, money they would crumple up and throw away because it's just broke bitch money to them. It means absolutely nothing to them, and they still are fighting to not have to pay that money. Because it's not just a matter of our government doesn't make them pay it. These people are actively lobbying to make sure they don't have to pay that extra however many $1 million, which literally is a drop in the bucket for them. It's just disgusting greed. When you have everything, it's when you're already a millionaire, what's next? To be a multimillionaire. When you're already a multimillionaire, what's next? To try to be a billionaire. When you're a billionaire now, it's what's next? Try to be a trillionaire. These motherfuckers can never just be happy with what they have. Like Elon Musk taking over a whole entire government so that he wouldn't go broke. Which, by the way, that's the tea that you didn't hear from me. But part of the reason why he doing this is because he going baroque. A lot of that money, that quote money that he has, is really not tangible. It's not liquid. Okay. A lot of that is are just assets and stock values, stock prices. Okay. And we see how that Tesla stock is going down ever since this tomfoolery he's been doing with the government. So it's just the sheer greed of these motherfuckers that is forcing all of the rest of us to struggle. Even middle class, even upper middle class people are struggling out here. The money that I make anywhere else, I should be living fantastic. I should be living real good. And I'm just, obviously I live in California, so there's levels to it. But I'm just, I'm not, I don't want to say I'm just getting by, but, like they say, anybody is 1 or 2 paychecks away from being in them streets. So you have these greedy ass rich people who just don't want to pay their fair share. And their fair share isn't even an incredible amount. It is the most base amount. They're we don't want to pay 21%. We only want to pay 5%. Literally, some of these motherfuckers are paying 5% corporate rates. Hiding everything behind LLCs and loan out companies. It's just so fucked up that a group of people's greed can keep the rest of us suffering and in misery. Worried about where our next meal is going to come from. Worried about if we're going to be able to make rent. We're going to be able to make the mortgage. We're going to be able to pay the taxes on everything. We're going to be able to buy that new car when our car starts putting and fucking up. People out here wanting to start families can't do it, even though they have 2 incomes, can't do it. Why? Because they can't afford it. My whole entire generation, millennials, can't buy goddamn houses. The new median age is about to be 40 years old for your first house. Meanwhile, when my parents, one generation removed, were buying their house in the 80s and the 90s, they were able to buy their first house. I think my mom was like 25. And my dad was like 28, 29, give or take. All behind some freaking greed.